Charles County put up this sign last year, hoping to shed light on the number of opioid overdoses. It is so bad, Charles County EMS says their number is 6 or 7 times what you see on the screen. Leave Behind Narcan is now how the county is fighting opioid addiction. And they're getting help from a woman who says she had to be revived more than a dozen times. Stephanie Ramirez brings us the story.
I thought I was going to be wrapped around my toilet and go that way. I never thought. I went from begging God to take my life to thanking God I wake up every day.
On this day, Dana got up to share that story with me and the Charles County Emergency Services chief. We agreed to keep her last name out of this.
I just want to spread awareness and hope. And the biggest misconception is that addicts are nothing but a piece of trash, that we're heartless people. But really, some of the most beautiful souls I've ever met have been the addicts and the addicts recovering. It's just we're so lost in a fog that we can't see a way out. It's a scary place to even explain.
A scary place the 34-year-old has been in for a very long time. Dana says she got hooked on painkillers at around 17 years old after she broke her back in a car accident.
I got stuck in a pity party.
She was using drugs recreationally. Then at 21, she met the love of her life. Dana says they started using together.
It was not very hard for us to go to a doctor and them just give us an immense amount that I don't even think cancer patients would get. At some point, like, it became that, we couldn't even go to work without getting high, or it's like we were being invited less and less to our family functions because nobody wanted to be around us. It was like we were nodding out and starting fights, just, and it still wasn't apparent to us that we were addicts. To us, we didn't have a problem with using drugs. Everybody else just had a problem with us using drugs. It wasn't us.
She says his family sees it very differently, but she's still sharing her story, especially the part when the drugs took a real toll.
This was actually the first time he had ever overdosed. And I don't remember a whole lot from that morning, but I do remember waking up in the back of the ambulance after being given not 1 but 2 shots of Narcan. And waking up and asking, where's my husband at? Where is he? And they cold-heartedly said that he's dead. He didn't effing make it. And in a second, it's like everything just completely shattered.
That still wasn't her rock bottom, but it was painful enough that Dana says she decided with her parents to stay clean, at least up until her husband's funeral. She tried to get help after, but there was a problem.
No, rehabs wouldn't take me. They said, well, you don't need a detox, we can't help you. So at that point, I went back to a doctor and said, my husband's dead. And they gave me the max that they could for Xanax.
She had finally hit rock bottom.
This time I felt like it was my last chance. If I used one more time, I was gonna die.
Narcan never cured her addiction, but it did give her a chance to fight it. And that's why Dana is now working with the Charles County Emergency Services on a new Leave Behind Narcan pilot program.
And in this bag, you're gonna have some resources for help.
There's also a refrigerator magnet, instructions, and 1 Narcan spray. Every time an EMT responds to a drug overdose, they'll give you this Bring Home Narcan package as many times as they get a call. John Filer is the chief of EMS.
Many of my cohorts say that, unfortunately, they say that we're just feeding the problem, and we're, with the word they use is enabling folks, but I don't see it that way.
Filer says they got this through a grant after the Maryland governor declared a state of emergency last year against opioid addiction.
We're on record to hit around 300 plus opioid overdoses this year.
Last year, he says they ran around 471 overdose calls altogether.
Time and time again, that Narcan saved my life. And finally, after so many chances, though, gave me a chance to give my son back his mom. Gave me a chance to give my parents back their daughter. That Narcan that will save families. It doesn't matter if you get that next chance, gotta keep trying.
This is the person who inspired Dana to quit drugs. She says her son even has an app that counts the months. I'm told August makes 3 years clean. Stephanie Ramirez, WUSA 9.